Hello awesome people, what is going on? It's BradPhusion here and welcome back to Empyrion Galactic Survival, where today I'm going to be showing you guys the survival element of the game. Now, I will be starting a new game for this, so for anyone who does not like tedious gameplay or a lot of interface stuff, you might not like this video, but for anyone else who's interested in this game and interested in the survival aspect of the game, then feel free to watch onwards. So we're going to go to a new game here, and again we're going to go to the survival, which allows you to spawn on Omnicron only with a very basic dropship. Let's just begin and we'll explain more as we get into it. Okay, here we are. Welcome everyone to the survival aspect of Empyrion Galactic Survival. So as you can see, there are dinosaurs walking around. Instead of having a gigantic base, you have a small ship here that doesn't necessarily work too well, at least when it comes to flying around, though I believe if you get the right resources, you can add RCS thrusters and other thrusters to make it flyable, which I think could be quite nice. Anyway, now in survival you have four things that you need to worry about that you wouldn't so much have to worry about in creative: your health, food, oxygen, and stamina, all of which we can get around to working on in just a moment. So let's check out inventory to see what we have in here. So in this we have all the basic resources to get yourself started. We're going to grab all of these, and what we're going to do is we're going to stick them inside the constructor that'll allow us to create our basic components. In here we have a container for food and a few growing pots, so you can grow some really basic food if you want to. We don't have a station yet, though that might be the first thing we'll have to build, just so we can get ourselves set up away from the creatures and everything, and that way we'll have a better production facility and so on. Vehicle we can get a little bit later on. This here is the constructor. This is where you would stick all your basic resources inside of that you can then use to create everything that you need to basically make other stuff. So the way the game works, again, to create something, let's just go through the tiers of how you would make something. So the basic tier is their basically ground resources, or the ore. The second tier is when they become the ingots. Then the third tier is when they become basic materials. And then the final tier is when they become the final component. At least that's the best way I can explain it without making it sound like I'm a complete idiot. Basically you got components and then you have the final. So if we wanted to build, let's build a core, which is I believe used to make a station. Here we go. So a core can be placeable on everything. Actually no, you don't use a core. I think you use a, there's a specific part that I think we have to create. And we also need an oxygen generator as well, so we don't run out of resources in that regard either. Let's just look around for what we need, just to make sure we're not going to mess anything up here. Because that is the last thing I want to do, is to mess up our video where I explain the basic survival elements of this game. I will say though, I'm not too experienced when it comes to survival. I played about an hour or so of it, and that was really about it. There wasn't too much else that I got done. I think it's, yeah, over here, base starter, there we go. So you need 8 hull blocks and a core, so we do need to go back and build a core. So to build a core, you need to build 5 metal components, 4 electronics, 5 computers, and 3 cables. Now, in a game like Factorio, which I've been recommended to play on my channel, and I have played the game myself for a fairly long time, if I was to put this down here, it would create the prerequisites, the metal components, and so on first, and then it would create the final part. In this game, it doesn't do that, very much like Space Engineers. So what you'd have to do is you'd have to create the elements first. So we're going to go back over here and create the 8 metal parts, or metal components, which are these things here, which require iron, ingot, and cobalt. So we'll create about 10 of them. So, and we'll actually turn this thing on, so it actually starts creating. Actually, what we'll need to do is we need to turn the ship on. Sorry, I forgot about that. No, first things first, we need to give the ship power, which we grab the power out of, I forgot all about that actually. Here we go, so we got a few power stuff, we got an oxygen generator, and this stuff here, and a core already made for us. That's actually kind of nice. I didn't think they'd give us a core straight away. So, in the other container here, we have the basic tools that we can use to play the game. So we have some ammunition, we have a basic drill charge for our drill, we have a filler and flattener tool, which we can use to kind of demonstrate, I guess, to see what it does. I already know what it does, but I mean to show for you guys. antibiotic pills, and then emergency rations, and then you have purified water as well. Now, one thing I don't like about this game necessarily is because it has such a strong survival element when it comes to pills, rations, and so on, the game tends to fill up your toolbar quite considerably with just the basic tools. Now, when it comes to building stuff, you also need to use that toolbar, so it becomes a little odd in a way to use. But here we'll put in a few containers like such. That should give the ship a little bit more power. Now, since we are powered up, we can now go back to create those. Let's cancel these, actually. So to cancel something, you have to turn the machine off and then remove the actual mechanic. Now, what we're going to use to create our basic blocks, which were the hull block gray that we need metal plates. So we're going to come over here, create the metal plates here, which we need a few of those. So we're just going to create 10. We have a fair amount of resources by default when it comes to the iron ingots. So we'll create 10 of those, and these will take their time to create each individual piece. And then once you get that, then you can create these hull metal block grays here, which then we can put towards making our base starter block. Very nice, very simple. The one thing I don't like is that crafting takes forever. Obviously, you're going to have different constructors when you have your own base. You can probably have multiple of them, but I don't think they share resources. I could be wrong in that, but I believe that they have their own inventory, and I don't think there's any conveyor systems, which might make things a little bit more tedious, but that's up to you if you really want that. Now, the constructor does take away a few other elements such that Space Entities uses, such as a refinery. You don't need to refine the resources; they are refined in the constructor through the I think it's through the first tab here. No, hang on, where am I looking? This one here, the templates for the components. You craft them in here, so it basically is a refinery and an assembler in one. Now, once we have this, we're going to create a few of these. Once this is done, I guess the quickest way to go about that is just creating that and then just removing 2 of the blueprints like so. Now we'll have enough to start a basic base, really. That's all we kind of really want. And then we'll basically start building from there. So this is the main survival element of the game. Now, what I'm probably going to do is I'm probably going to create a lot more hull blocks than what we have or what we need. So when I come back here, we're going to have enough to start off a decent base. Or not really decent, but better than just a core sitting on the ground. Now let us create the core necessary. We do have a core here, so sorry, we don't need to create the core, we need to create the basic building block, which is a base starter. There we go, cool. Now once that's done, we're going to line up a few of these metal plates here. Going to get a few of them like so, and then get a few of these to be created here as well. Now I don't think that's enough. We'll be fine though. What we're going to do is we're going to build a oxygen generator. So that will allow us to keep our oxygen supply in high reserves. Now, the way you get oxygen is fairly simple. You put the oxygen bottles inside these containers. Now, whenever you need a refill, you stand next to this oxygen station and it will refill you 1 canister per, I think, 25% or 50% of your oxygen down the bottom right. Now, the way you generate those oxygen bottles or those oxygen tanks is you have to go near a bit of water. Now, when you're near this water, what is that? It's fire moss scrappings. Okay, sure. Yeah, so if you come over here, you can see there's a little bit of water. There's also a base. There's some points of interest on the map. You have a base over there. There's a big tower, I think, over there somewhere. I haven't gone to that yet. Just a few other things as well. So we're going to come down to the water here. Some creatures aren't necessarily hostile, which I kind of like. They're very creepy, but friendly for the most part. I guess unless I get too close to him, then maybe he'll be a little bit more hostile. But what we're going to do is we're going to come over here, and we're now going to place down our oxygen generator. By the way, this is what our character looks like if you didn't know. And we're going to put this right down here. Very basic. Press T to access it, and what you'll do is you'll give this a little bit of power, and what this will do is this will start outputting the bottles, the next bottle in 2 minutes. So, I mean, it's only going to last 23 seconds as far as I can tell. I think that's what that means. Oh no, 23 minutes, sorry. So that'll last on that one bottle for 23 minutes, and that'll create an alright bottle here and there. So that's how you get oxygen. And hi there, bud. You look very, very strange. I've never looked at them very closely. Now, the one resource you're probably going to need a lot of is that Promethium, all the way up there, that deposit. Now, Promethium is essentially the uranium of this world, used to create the energy that powers everything. So whilst that's generating oxygen, whilst we have our hull plates being created for our base, we're going to come up here now and we're going to basically grab as much promethium as we can. It sounds really strange saying it like that. Grab as much as we can, and then we're going to go back and process that into energy so we can hopefully keep our station alive for as long as we can. Cool. And there's neodymium over there. I don't know what that's necessarily for, but this will involve us having to dig down a little bit to get to that, as you can kind of see. And I'm going to use my jetpack. Now, the weird thing in this game is you can't use your jetpack and sprint at the same time, in a way. If you have your jetpack enabled, sprinting is disabled, even though you can walk along the ground like I'm doing now without using your jetpack. So you have to disable both. Oh, this is a bad creature. This is actually something I was hoping I didn't have to show you guys straight away. Die already, bastard. Oh no, it didn't die. Come on, there we go. Oh my good god. Use an antidote or a cure. I do have an antidote on me, I believe. We have antidote pills on number 6. Sorry, I was meant to use that. There we go. Okay. What did you have anything good on you? You have a few raw meat, so on and so forth, that we could use to craft. Now let's get back to what I was doing initially, without having to worry about a creature trying to kill us all the damn time. So those are one of the bad creatures in the game. But we'll use our drill here to kind of get through the ground. Now what this will do is this will generate gigantic rocks in a way. We'll see once we get down there. I'm just going to kind of drill around me so I can kind of get out of here easily when I need to. But the resource that we're looking for is a blue resource that you see kind of filling up my screen right now. Now when this generates its ore, you'll see it looking like these little shards here, which I think are quite cool looking. And we'll basically just need to get as much of this as we can, so it'll last us quite a while. The ore can be turned into, I think, pellets, and then the pellets is what turned into the basically energy cells that we need. I'm going to try and get us out of here as easily as we can. Also, you do get occasionally crushed rock from grinding down normal dirt and stone and stuff. Which isn't, I don't think it's needed for anything, but I could be mistaken in that regard. But anyway, let's get as much as we can here. I think we already have quite a fair amount. How much do we have on us now? 44. I think that'll do us just fine. So let's jetpack out of here for now. We don't need to worry about anything else. Oops, that's alright. I forgot we kind of drilled ourselves down a little bit. And yeah. Hi, big guy. You're going to fall down eventually. Oh, you're so going to fall down in there. But it's fine. Oh, I thought there was another alive one. It's dead. We are completely safe to go back this way. Now, nighttime is a little bit more scary, as those creatures that we just encountered do seem to spawn a little bit more frequently. I don't know if spawning is the right word for it, because they seem to already exist in the world in some places. But they just seem to be more noticeable during the night time. Anyway, let us head back now. So what I like to do is, because I bound my jetpack to the X key, which is quite an easy key to access, I like to sprint and then turn on my jetpack and go, basically combine the two to get a decent amount of speed. So you'll jump and then you'll jetpack, and you'll just be able to carry yourself for a little bit longer, which is kind of nice. Now, I found out that the jetpack, whilst in the environment, acts more of a jump jet, whereas, there's a tower, by the way, whereas if you're in space, it acts more like an actual jetpack. Very handy. I didn't know that initially. I guess I kind of should have expected that because of the lack of gravity, but it's just because of the gravity that you're being forced to kind of stick to the ground in a way. Cool. Now that we're back over here, we can do what we need to do with the this resource here. So we'll put this in, and then because we got this in here, we can now create the pellets. Like so, basically, one of them is required to create, I think, 1 pellet? No, 10 pellets. So basically, one of this is turned into 1 fuel pack. So we've got 42, meaning we can get 42 fuel packs. Very nice. But yeah, so we'll create them, and now we have the resources that we needed to start our base. Very, very nice. I'm kind of excited because I want to see what this looks like. Because I haven't built a base before. I built a small ship, a very, very simple land vehicle, but nothing too spectacular came from that. So let us build a... Let's see where we can put this. Oh, it starts out like this. Okay, cool. What we're going to do, I think we're going to build near the ocean. I mean, why not? Because we have our oxygen generation out there, and we can use that a lot to continually get more and more oxygen. So I don't see that being such a bad thing to build out near the water. So let's go over here, and yeah, let us start building our base out towards the ocean, because, I mean, obviously we'll have to get our ship moved over here eventually, and I think we can probably do that if we give it an RCS, which will allow it to turn around, and then we can basically just slide it along the ground. Now let's see if we can put our base out here. Now it does have a red snapping line. I'm not too sure what this is for, but I'm hoping it won't be too impedant on what we're doing. You need to flatten the terrain first. Oh, that's what the flattener tool is for. Cool. Okay, so let's flatten the terrain here. How much did that actually... I don't know how the flattener tool actually works, by the way. Because, yeah, I don't think I'm doing it right. Let's, is that actually the right tool that I was using? Yeah, the filler and flattener. I think... Whoa, that is not what I wanted at all. Holy crap. Okay, let's figure out this tool here. Hang on. Let's get back up here again. Now, if I drag it across, does that make that the same size? No. I am quite confused with how this tool works. Let's see if that actually gave us enough room to start building, though. Oh, hang on. There we go. We now have the start of a base. Probably should have thought about how we get up here at first, but we should be okay. So, I admit I kind of messed it up because I hadn't actually built a base before, so I wasn't too sure how to even use that tool. But now we kind of know in a way. So now we're just going to build something very, very basic. Probably a little too basic, but actually, let's also, one thing I've noticed is when you start building, don't think you can get rid of the blocks as easily as you would like, because it does seem to be a little bit of a pain to get rid of stuff. And I'll explain that in just a second. So if you put down, say I'm putting down what I'm putting down here now, we'll probably change this up in just a moment as well. We'll go like that, and then what we'll do is we'll come around here. We're just going to make a very, very basic room in a way. We're kind of out of blocks already. Now, to remove these blocks, I think you have to use a very specific tool to do that. I know you can use a drill and you can break the blocks. Let's just break this one here just so you can see it. And this will give us a very basic resource. So let's just look at our inventory right now. Just make sure we're not, so we can see what we're picking up. Now if I break this, I don't know if this will actually break it or if it has the capacity to. I don't think so. I think we have to use the other tool to do that, which we don't have on us. It's called the remover tool, which essentially just kind of hits the object very much like the drill does, but you get back its basic components, but you don't get back all of its components. And to, again, create the block again, you'll then have to go back to your constructor and recreate that block type. There's a very strange way of doing things, and I'm not too sure if I like it, but it is what it is anyway. So now we should have a few more cells in here. That we can then use to power the ship for a little longer. We're kind of down on our last one, so very nice that we got a bit here to survive. Now we can take a few of these down to the ocean station in just a second. So let us build ourselves a few more walls here. We have quite a few metal plates. Holy crap! I didn't think I created that many of them. We're going to create a few more hull blocks, and we're going to create a staircase, or maybe just a ramp. I think a ramp should be fine. Don't need anything too special, just a way of getting up there without having to use a jetpack. And yeah, a few more walls, and I think we'll have a very, very basic station up and running. So let's make ourselves a door as well, because, we kind of want a door for a station. So you need 3 metal components, 2 electronics, and a control device, I believe, yes. So we have a few metal components here. We have 2 of them. We need 3. So we'll come over here, we'll create what we need. And this is very much how the game plays. So it's very, very simple. I think what you could probably do is just create a mass of what you want. It's just, it takes its time, so it's usually faster to just create what you want specifically, but at the same time, you kind of want to create a lot of it, so when you come back to it, you have a lot of those resources. So this is going to create what we want here now, and then when we come back, we should have all the components we need to make a door. Now, I believe the door needs power as well, so we're going to need ourselves a generator. And I think once we create ourselves a generator and maybe an oxygen station, I think that'll be enough for this video as a very basic demonstration of how this game works. So we're probably going to need a generator like this. Now, the way you want to have a look at these components to make sure you have the right ones is when you look down the bottom where it says the placeable. Now, GV... Oops, sorry, because it creates stuff, it kind of clears your screen on the right side there. GV is ground vehicle, SV is small vehicle. Over here we have CV, which is, I think, carrier vessel? I'm not too sure what CV means. And then BA is obviously the base. So to create what we need for a basic generator, we need a few more metal components, capacitor devices, reactor core, control device, and computers. And this is where the tediousness of the game comes in, because you have to kind of remember what you need to create, because some of these require very different components. So we're going to need to create a bunch of metal stuff in just a moment. We'll cue the door here, so we don't have to think about that at all. And then we're going to create ourselves the basic pieces for this other thing. So we're going to create a few of these, like so. And then we're just going to come back over here just to make sure we get what we need. 2 capacitor devices. Now, where are these and what do these do? Let's have a quick look around. Something that looks like a capacitor device. There we go. Cables and more metal components. So we're going to create a lot more metal components. And then you're going to create a few cables, like so. Then create a... what do we need? Electronics. Plenty of them. So we're going to create... oh, I just added to the list. That's also a downside. It'll add to this list, but that's fine. So I'm going to create a few of these, probably just one. Oh no, we need, how many do we need for a generator? We need 1 or 2, we need 2 of them. So yeah, we're going to need 2 of these, so 1, 2, and then that'll give us what we need to create the basic part of the generator. Then we need the reactor core and 2 control devices. The reactor core is here, which needs motors, pipes, and yada yada, but this needs more cables, so we're going to add more cables. And this is where a lot of it becomes a bit weird and wacky with how everything's done. So the cables are there, the more metal components, probably can create a few more of them. And then the electronics, which we already have quite a few stacked up. Hopefully that'll be enough for a motor. And that's just one basic motor for this thing. We need a few more pipes, which we don't have any pipes scheduled. So our pipes scheduled, and then the cables, we already have 30 cables. We'll add more cables just to be safe. And metal components, we'll add a few more to them as well. So there we have the reactor core being built, and then we need the... actually, let's schedule the reactor core. And then we'll need the control devices, which are pretty basic. These just require resources, pretty basic stuff. We'll create a few of them, like so, just to be on the safe side. And then we need a few more electronics, and then the computer, which I believe the computer requires control devices and other things as well. So we'll create 10 of these metal components, a few more as well, so we're going to queue them up. And then we need a few more cables as well, so queue more cables. And then the electronics of 2. So once this is done, we'll queue up a few more later on, and then we'll be able to schedule things. Hopefully that should be enough to create the generator, and that is the basic functionality of how crafting in this game works. It's very much staring at an interface, hoping things go well. Not the greatest thing, not the worst thing either, but we're getting low on oxygen, so I might as well show you guys how that works in just a second once this 5 is being created. So, pretty much, it's very basic again. You come over here, stand to the station, it'll sound like an alien screaming in your face, but once that sound has been played, you'll then have oxygen, and as you can see, the 2 tanks from here are missing, as opposed to, I think, the 2 that are in here, yes. So it used up 2 tanks then to fill me up, and the way it looped the sounds, it was the amount of oxygen that you could hear obviously giving me, which is 2 tanks. And over there you can see the moon rising. Or I think that's either the moon or the icy planet. It's kind of hard to tell. They're very close, so I'm not entirely too sure. But anyway, this has moved on to that now. So we can create a few more electronics here, and then we can create the 2 things that we need here. I think we just need 2 of them. We'll create 3 anyway. Hopefully create 3. And then we will be moving on to our generator, like so. There we go, that's just one part. This is scheduling everything for one part that we needed. So that's where, again, the game's tediousness comes into play. Not the worst thing in the world, but it definitely is very... how should I put it? It doesn't... maybe it's because of the interface just looking very squished, that it makes it feel very... not so much annoying. That's not the right word I'm trying to look for here. But I find things harder to build with the interface than I would normally do when it comes to building stuff in a survivalistic type game. Maybe they just need more refinement on that regard. Also, we're going to put our thing, yeah, right here. So we're going to come over here, put this down. Now the rotating comes very much like you would expect. If I could actually rotate the blocks the right way around, there we go. Very nice, now we have a very basic ramp leading up inside of here. Cool. And now we're just going to basically place what we can down over here, and then create ourselves our very first entrance room, basically. And we're going to have a door on the front side. So this will be how our room works and looks. Simple, but yeah, let's use the jetpack for a second, and we're going to get up the top here. I should just use that to get up the top like so. And that way we can create what we need to create, like so. Even though I don't think we have the resources to fulfill all of this, we might as well just start covering up some of it like you see here. And use the jetpack again, and up we go. So yeah, that is the basics. Oops, sorry, I forgot to do that part there. So yeah, that's the basics of this game anyway, for anyone who was curious about the survival element of the game. I don't think I'll be doing a series on this, though again, not too far-fetched if you guys really want one. But, I mean, I do enjoy the game, in a way. It's interesting that it has AI, and it has creatures and stuff that run around the place, and there's different points of interest that you can find, such as that base over there that wouldn't be too bad to explore. There's the tower over there that I wouldn't mind going to, and there's a whole bunch of, there's a whole planet to look at right now, even space if we ever get to it. So maybe I'll do, like, a series where I'll try to rush to space, basically, or I'll build what I can. In a way that'll lead me to getting to space exploration. But anyway, how's this coming along? Creating all the cables. Do we have any bigger stuff than that? No, we're still going kind of fine. How much do we have when it comes to our... Are we out of iron? We can't be. That might be a bad thing. I mean, I know it's going to be a bad thing if we're out of... I don't see it anywhere here. We might be running low. Holy crap. That's not a good thing. That's definitely not a good sign at all. So what we're going to do is, what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to go and grab ourselves... Hang on, the door should have created. Oh, the door did create. Cool. We can actually take this now. That was the one thing I was looking for, was the door. Now that's creating what we need. That'll create these things, which we have enough for. We don't have enough. What do we need? Motors and pipes for you. We had the motor... Wait, where's the motor scheduled? Thought we had a motor scheduled. Do we have a motor? We don't. No. This is what happens sometimes. It'll sometimes skip over resources that it can't build, and I'm not too sure why it didn't build it. We do have enough to make a motor. Oh well, we'll take the reactor core off, which means we'll need to take this off as well. So what we'll do is we'll take this off. We'll create a motor, then a reactor core, and then we will create... Hang on, but you don't even have enough metal components. How many metal components do we have? We only have 5. I think it's because we're out of iron ingots. Yes, we are. That's why the whole thing messed up. So, yeah, now we'll leave you creating, and we're going to have to go get some... why did you put a door here? Hang on. You can actually put a door on a small ship. I don't know why you'd want to. Unless you want to maybe protect some of the basic resources. That would be an interesting way to do things. Because, though, you have to access the individual panels on a ship to get things going. So, to fill up your reactor core, you need to access that reactor... fuel tank like we were doing just before when we were filling it up. So it very much acts like that as well, which I think is a little odd that you can't just do everything. Like, there's no conveyor system, which I think this game very much needs, or some sort of networking in a way. And maybe even it's just some sort of, like, as long as the blocks are connected to the same ship or same machine or station, then everything should be able to go, you know, back and forth between each other. Maybe that's just me thinking about that though. Anyway, let's grab what we need from here. And we'll be on our merry way out of here. Grabbing everything like so. See, what do you guys think about the survival element of the game? What do you guys think about the game itself anyways? Let me know in the comments down below. I know this has been a bit of a tedious episode, but I did state that at the start that it would very much likely be that. And here we go with all of this stuff here. Okay. Whoa, what was that? Oh, was I reloading? Whoops, I accidentally pressed the reload key. That's fine. We'll be okay. And there we go. And very nice. Now we have a lot of iron ore here. We have how much? We have 56. And that should be enough to make what we need. Cool. Let's head out of here and head back to our escape pod. So yeah, this is what being on a planet is like. It's kind of cool. I very much like the atmosphere. I have to say the planets actually do look quite nice, especially from a distance and just like looking around and just seeing like that's a mountain we can go to and so on. Maybe not a mountain, but a decent hill anyways. And over there is something as well that we could probably explore. Be really cool. Anyway, so run, jump, jetpack all the way back. But yeah, I kind of wish the jetpack would maybe last a bit longer. Maybe even upgrading your character would be something that I would think would be really cool. Something I wish Space Engineers had as well, because you can upgrade the modules on refineries and so on, but you can't upgrade your character in any way. I would love to be able to upgrade like your jetpack for extra speed, or upgrade other, other components to make things a little bit better and so on. How are you going with fuel? You've got plenty of fuel left. Now we do need over here to create. Yes, you don't have metal components. You don't have metal components. You don't have metal components. Cool. Let's turn you off. Put this in. Get rid of you, and we'll put them just back in just a moment. So come up here, create the iron ingots that we need, a lot of them, and then we should be good to continue with what we need, which was the computer, I believe. If we come down here again, yeah, we were creating 2 computers. Sorry, we need to create metal components. That's what we need. We'll create a few of them. 1, 2, 3 was the creating of them, and then we need one of you, and then we were moving on to the generator, which we needed a few more of these for. So go here like that, and then we should be good to finally finish this off with this last little bit here. Very nice, cool. So yeah, let's go put our door on whilst that's building, and then we'll come back to that in a quick little moment. So yeah, that is the basic elements of survival in this game. We haven't touched food, because food is something I haven't really had much of a chance to explore myself, though I believe you do need a food processor for the basic food when it comes to alien stuff as well, and even just the creating of the normal food I haven't gotten around to doing either. So let's put this door here, and just see what this looks like. So, that's not the way you'd rotate a door. That's not the way you rotate a door either. But that is a way you put down a door. Now, I think... Oh, these don't need power. I thought they did. I think they need power to automatically open and close. So I'm not entirely too sure. I think maybe I just now got the door wedged open, because I'm a bit of an idiot. Hang on. No. We just have to look at the right part for it. Also, I believe we can access the station for here. Yeah, so you need a fuel tank and you need a generator to get everything up and running. We're building the generator first, but we haven't built the fuel tank. Probably my mistake. Also, I believe you can name the base here by going with, so we go like Alpha Base and hit Enter. I think that names this as Alpha Base. Just make sure, just to quickly check. I don't think it says it when I'm inside of here. But that'll be fine. We'll come back to that eventually as well. So yeah, you can actually, close it like that. Cool. So you don't need power for them to automatically open and close. But yeah, so let's head back to our ship and see if that actually did rename it. Alpha Base, cool, it did. Nice. Awesome. I knew there was a naming functionality, I just never really played around with it at all. But yeah, to basically eat, you just eat your emergency rations or any alien food that you may have gained. We did gain alien meat before, but we don't have a food processor on this ship, so we're going to need to build one of those as well. Which I think we'll need to craft one. Because I don't think this thing has a food processor, or nor do I think it can process food on its own. No biggie. Anyway, is this almost done? Not really. It's gonna go for a very, very long time. Oh well. But that being said though, I think I'll have to leave this video here. We're not going to get the station up and running. But if you guys would want to see more of this on my channel, let me know in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Stay awesome, everyone.